Hi everyone, it's Miss Rossi. Today we are going to make a surprise big mouth picture. What you'll be needing today is a pencil, something to trace our picture with. I have a Sharpie, but you can use any other marker or pen. Even a colored pencil or crayon will work. We have an eraser. We have our big mouth paper from our art folder. Now this is just a rectangular piece of paper. You want a paper that is nice and tall so that we have a lot of room to create our big mouthed character. We are also going to need something to color our picture in. I have some crayons here that I'm going to use to add color to my picture, but you can use any material you have at home to color. I'm going to take off my label because I don't need that anymore. And I am going to start by folding my paper. We're going to draw a cartoon animal, and the way that we fold our paper is going to make our cartoon's mouth open up huge on our paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold my paper so the top edge hits the bottom edge. So we're just folding in half. So I'm lining up the top edge of my paper with that bottom edge. It's okay if it's not perfect, but you want to try and get it close. Once I have that lined up, I'm going to crease from the middle out, pushing down with my fingers. I can even take my nail and run that along the edge so that I know I have a nice solid crease. From here, I'm going to fold this open top part up so that bottom edge now hits the top line. Lining that up and creasing it down the middle. I am going to flip my paper over and do the same thing. So I'm going to fold this half so the bottom edge hits that middle line as well. So I'm going to line those up as best as I can and crease. I'm going to open this one out so it lays flat, and I'm going to flip my paper back over. So now my paper has that opening part on the top and that bottom section that we just folded down towards the bottom. So your paper should look like mine. Once you have your paper folded, we're going to grab our pencils and we're going to start sketching out our character. You can decide if you want to make an animal or if you want to make a person. And if you are making an animal, you can choose what kind of animal you would like to make. Now I'm going to make mine a cow, but you can pick any other animal like a dog, a cat, a fish, a shark. So with my paper still folded, I'm going to start to draw my animal. Now I'm keeping my paper closed and I'm going to draw my animal on top of both this folded edge and that plain bottom piece. Now I'm making a cow, but if you're making any kind of animal, you can probably start with a similar shape. So from that folded edge, I am going to draw a curved line up. So no matter what kind of animal you're drawing, I'm just making the head of my cow, so yours can look the same. And now from that folded edge, I'm going to complete that shape and turn it into an oval by drawing another curved line coming down. So now I just have a nice big circle on my paper, and that's going to be my animal's head. I'm going to do two curved lines from that bottom edge down to the bottom of my paper, so that my animal now has a body too. I don't have a lot of room to draw a full body on there, but if you have extra space, you can do that. Now that we have the head and the body for our animal, we can add details to bring it to life. So inside my head, I am going to separate where the mouth and the eyes go. Now this line where our paper is folded is going to be the mouth. You can draw a straight line going across there if that helps you, but just so you know, that line is where the mouth is. So above this line, we need to have the nose and the eyes. My cow is going to have a little bit of a snout, so I'm going to do a big curved line coming over and back down. And on the snout is where our nose is going to be. So I'm going to do two little circles up there as my cow's nostrils. Then in this top space, I could add two circles for eyes. I'm going to draw another half circle inside my eyes and then another one. So now I have space for a pupil, which is the black part of our eye, and then I like to leave a little white circle in there as a highlight. So now my animal has two eyes, nose, and then this line for our mouth. I'm going to add some ears next. My cow is going to have some floppy ears coming off to the sides, and I'm going to repeat that same shape on the inside so I can add a little pink inside part of our ear. And my cow is going to have two little triangular horns. I can also add extra details and decorations like the spots on my cow. So I'm just going to do some wavy lines here and there, coming off the edge of my cow's head and out into space. I can even add some on my ears. I am also going to go down onto the body and add some more spots down there. Now that I finished drawing my animal, I can even go in and add a background. I'm going to do a big curved line at the bottom of my page. I'm jumping over my cow as I'm drawing this line. I don't want to draw through my character. I want to just draw in the background. So to make this look like it is behind it, we can jump over it once we hit the edge of our drawing. My cow is going to be in a little field of flowers. So I'm just going to draw a bunch of different flowers on this little hill that I made. You can decide where you think your animal should be. Maybe if you have a fish, it is underwater and there are other fish in the background swimming past. That looks pretty good. You can put a sun in the sky. I'm going to do a little half circle with some lines for my sun and even some clouds. Now that I'm looking at my character, I think I'm going to make the chin a little bit smaller. And then I can make the body lines that I drew just come up a little bit more. This is why we always draw in pencil, so if we want to change anything, you can always go back, change, and erase it. Now that I'm finished drawing the outside of my picture, I can open up my paper and start to draw the inside. So I said our picture is going to have a surprise big mouth. So once we open our paper, this whole inside area is going to be our animal's mouth. So once you fold your paper, you can close the mouth, and as you open it, you can open the mouth. I'm going to leave my paper fully open, and I am going to draw a line that connects this top edge of one side of my cow's head down to the bottom. So I'm just going to do a nice big straight line connecting the two. I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. And now I can start to add details and decorations inside my animal's mouth. Maybe you want to show what your animal is eating. Maybe if you have a dog, you want to draw a toy or a bone inside the mouth. It's up to you. I'm going to start by giving my cow some teeth. So I'm going to do a big horizontal line coming across this bottom edge. Now when we are drawing the inside of our mouth, we don't want to go past these big folded lines. We just want to draw in between that space. So this folded edge is where my mouth is going to stop. So I don't want to be drawing teeth or anything down here. Everything has to go above that folded line and below that one. So then once our paper is closed, we won't see it. You can always test it out by folding your paper back up to see what it looks like once it is closed. So I did a big line going across to add some teeth on my cow, and I am going to draw some vertical lines too. I'm going to go up towards the top and do the same thing. So I'm doing some more lines for some teeth. If you want, you can trace your folded edge line if that is going to help you see it a little better so you don't draw past that line. I am going to give my cow a nice big tongue. I'm just going to do a big, almost like an M shape, and then I'm going to draw a line going down. Inside my cow's mouth, I'm going to draw a big flower. Since my cow is standing in a field of flowers, I think it would make sense if it was eating one. So I'm just going to put that in the big open space. You could put yours on top of the tongue. You can have a bunch of things inside your animal's mouth. It is up to you. Now that the inside and the outside of my picture are done, I can fold it back closed to make sure it looks the way that I want it to, and then reopen it to test it out. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab my Sharpie and I'm going to trace over all of my pencil lines. As I'm tracing, I'm going to leave my paper open so it is not folded shut because I don't want my marker to go through my paper onto another area of my drawing. So I'm going to trace it as it is fully open like this. Now you do not have to use a Sharpie. You can use anything to trace your picture. And we are just going to slowly go over the top of all of our pencil lines. This is going to make it easier to see for when we color it in. If you want to trace your picture in a bunch of different colors, you can always do that. I just have a black marker with me today, so I'm going to trace everything in black. Now that I finished tracing my picture, I can go in with my eraser and erase any pencil lines that I can still see. Now that I'm done erasing and tracing, I can fold my paper back up, make sure it looks the way that I want, and now I can start to add color. I'm going to color my picture in today with some crayons. You can use whatever you have at home to add color to your picture. If you're using something like marker, then I would suggest leaving it open as you color it, so again, your marker doesn't bleed through onto the other side of your paper and get on parts of your drawing where you don't want it. Since I made a cow, I'm going to go in with a black crayon first and color in all of my cow's spots. As I'm coloring, I'm going back and forth slowly in each area, coloring nice and neatly. I don't want to scribble. I want to do my absolute best work as I'm coloring so that my picture looks great when I am finished. We spent all that time folding our paper and drawing our picture, that we want to take some more time as we're coloring to make sure that our picture ends up the way that we like. Now that I finished that, I'm going to grab a light pink color and color in my cow's mouth. I want to make sure that I'm coloring the top and bottom the same. Even though they are on different parts of my paper and I can fold it like that, I still want them to look like they are connected. And as I'm coloring in, I want to make sure I fill in all of the white space so all of the areas of my picture are fully colored in. Once I'm done coloring in my cow, I will also color in the background, so I end up with a fully bright and colorful picture. And now, just like I did with the mouth, I'm going to make sure I color in the sky in the background the same color on the top and bottom. I'm finished coloring the outside of my paper, I'm going to open it up and color in the inside so that it matches. So I saved my blue for the sky, and I am going to fill in this gap between the sky on the top of my paper and the sky on the bottom with that same color so they connect. Then I'm going to pick a color that I want for the inside of the mouth and for the tongue and fill in that space. And that is my cow picture all finished. Once you're done with your big mouth cartoon, if you fold it shut, you should be able to open it for the surprise big mouth. You can also hold your paper from behind. So if we turn it around and we grab that middle section, you can turn it into a puppet by having that middle section open and close as you are talking. Once you're done, you can upload a photo or video of your project on my Canvas page. I can't wait to see all of the crazy different animals and things you guys drew for your big mouth surprise pictures. Try your best, have fun, and get creative, and I'll see you soon. Bye!